Microsoft Dynamics 365. This has been a series of sessions that we've been running for several months now. We started off with a generic overview and then did some deep dives. And today again, we are here with a deep dive into the project operations module. Let me quickly run you through the agenda. We'll just quickly give a background about us, why we're doing this, we as a firm, what's our background, what we do, then look at how we look at digital transformation and digital transformation through Microsoft Dynamics 365 ERP solution for organizations. Just a quick overview on that. And then we get into the deep dive, project operations, a very critical component of most companies. Increasingly, companies are using project operations, and we look at why we think project operations is critical. And then my colleague Satish Manoharan will do a deep dive into project operations, where we look at what are the key elements. You look at the entire cycle from deal to delivery, and quick look at the solution as well. We walk you through a quick demo of the project operations module within Dynamics 365. And towards the end, we'll have a quick Q&A session. But please do ping in your questions as you go through the sessions. In the interest of time, we will take up these questions at the end. For any reason, if you are unable to take up the questions during the session, we will definitely reach out to you separately and try and answer those questions. So thank you again. And with that, we'll just begin with a quick background about our firm, the Solution Consulting FZCO. We are a Dubai headquartered Microsoft Dynamics Gold implementation partner. We are an ISO certified company. We are a Microsoft house. We deal with the entire suite of technology that Microsoft offers and the entire suite of services for a technology firm, right from consulting, implementation, integrations, customizations, and providing analytics solutions. We are roughly 130 member team, delivered over 100 projects over the last 7 years. And we have our presence in Dubai, UAE, India, as well as Saudi Arabia. These are some of the industries that we have deep expertise in: retail, healthcare, manufacturing, financial services, energy, real estate. And I think these are some of the industries where we have seen significant uptick in project management related capabilities. And that's something that we are keen to show in terms of how this can be leveraged by organizations across the board. This is quickly in terms of the approach. It's our approach, and we suggest every organization as well as partners who are in an ERP implementation project should look at when you are looking at implementing an ERP solution for an organization. The infra component, the cloud infrastructure or on-premise servers and application, the core application, Microsoft Dynamics 365, for example, these are the most basic and fundamental things. But the real essence of an ERP implementation is when the business model, it helps the business model transform and adapt to the changing dynamic business environment, as well as the cultural change that it brings for the organization. You're looking at organizing your data, you're looking at organizing your processes, you're touching all your stakeholders, your employees, your partners, your suppliers, your customers. All of these different stakeholders get connected with an ERP solution, and that's where the business model as well as the cultural side of ERP implementation or digital transformation is very, very critical. And that is something that we understand. And when we look at digital transformation, this is the mindset that we go ahead with. We may finish the ERP implementation in 5, 6, 12 months, but the business model transformation and cultural transformation is an ongoing process for several years. And that's something that we would prefer to partner with for organizations. Now, Microsoft Dynamics 365, it's the most complete suite of solution that is available in the market right now. Um, you can see all of these modules that are there. On the left hand side, there is you need a call center, it is available. You need customer service, it's available. You need field service. You need the core finance, supply chain, warehouse, fraud protection, e-commerce solution. So Microsoft currently is one of the most comprehensive that is available. And the most important thing with Microsoft is it comes embedded with the Office 365. It's something that most people learning computer in their early age would have used Office 365, and the seamless connection between Dynamics, Office 365, and then you have the whole data and intelligence platform with Power BI, Power Apps, the entire Power Portal, and the latest version of the analytics platform, Microsoft Fabric, coming in January. So once you have all of these together, it provides everything that you need for an organization from a technology perspective. Your office productivity suite, your business productivity suite, and your data and analytics, everything embedded in one single solution. No other organization is currently offering this. So as Microsoft as a solution, it is constantly evolving. It is not just it's rapidly evolving, which means that you're getting upgrades every few months, and if there are gaps that are there in certain industries, Microsoft is rapidly filling those gaps. So the solution is for you today, and it is there for you tomorrow as well. So once you've adopted Dynamics 365, rest assured that the solution would be there throughout your organization lifetime, because the solution is constantly evolving. Before we jump into the project management module and an overview of project management, we just wanted to do a quick poll just to understand our audience today. And as we go through the deep dive, we may want to look at this composition of the audience today and make sure we are adapting and catering to the audience that is there today. Anshul, you may run the poll, and then we can get into.
Yes,
Once you're
Anish,
done,
it's
let
up.
me know.
It's up.
Yeah, sure. So let me know once you have the responses. We can then move ahead.
Yes, Anish, we have the responses. Almost 50% of them are looking to implement modules, certain modules of Dynamics 365, and more than 30% of them are here to explore, to know more about it. Around 20% are the first timers who do not know anything about Dynamics 365.
Okay. Thank you so much for your responses. That's very helpful for us to understand the kind of audience that we have. And as we go through the presentation and demo, we will make sure we are tailoring to the audience and making sure there are enough number of people who are new to Dynamics. So we'll make sure you get familiar to Dynamics. And for those who are looking, I think looking for Dynamics as a solution, this should be a good example, good session for you to have a deep dive in the project management module. So what we've done so far over the past few months, as I said, this is the fourth in the series. We start off the series with a generic Dynamics 365 overview, and then Last two sessions were deep dive into finance and supply chain modules. These sessions are recorded. They are available on our website. My colleague will post the link on the chat window as well. So you may want to go back and if you want to do you want to look at the finance and supply chain sessions, please do go and visit our website. Today, we will be focusing on project operations. Our intent is that some of these large modules that we have within Dynamics 365, we would keep doing these deep dive sessions over the next few months. Now, coming to project operations, why project operations is so critical? I think the image that we have on the left-hand side pretty much summarizes. It caters to pretty much every industry that we're talking about right now. There was a view that project management was a critical component for professional services firms, for example, technology or law firms or consulting firms. These were some of the industries that were early adopters of project management. But what we have seen over the past few years is some of these other industries, utilities, engineering, manufacturing, construction, oil and gas, retail and consumer goods as well. All of these industries are increasingly moving to a project-based approach for their organization. And so whether you're a services company, whether you're a product company, you're offering value-added services, your products are customizable to the client's requirement. All of these different business models can actually leverage project management. I'm sure from your experience in the business, you are already seeing some of these requirements that are coming up. Uh, and I think project management, the approach of project management does bring in a lot of benefits. And when you add in the technology component, you have a comprehensive solution that facilitates the whole process. It just gives you enormous amount of benefits. Your agility to deliver to the varying differences or the different requirements that you have in the market, and your ability to deliver the project on time, on scope, on budget with a project management tool that becomes very, very easy. Your flexibility to respond, as I said, just automating the entire process, right from sales to delivery, can be completely automated with a project management tool. Your productivity improvement for your workforce, and then overall, from a client perspective as well, when you're on time, on scope, on budget, you have a better client experience that you would want to offer to your client. Um, these are three different kinds of organizations that would need a project management, and project management can certainly help these trends. I'll just talk through. I know these may look like jargons, but let me explain these three models. You're talking about a basic implementation, typically for a consulting firm or a technology firm, where you have resources deployed on a project. You take up a project, you're offering a service, you deploy your resources, and then the basic project management activities of managing the resources, allocating them, managing their time and attendance, and then reporting back. So that we categorize as the basic project management implementation. And then you have non-stocked, which essentially is a service company. You don't have an inventory or you don't have a manufacturing process, but you need the basic project management modules. Add to that, you are procuring products for your client. For example, you may be a construction company where you may be procuring a lot of products for your clients. These are not your own products, but you're procuring it for a client. So you would come across a lot of expense management capabilities required during the project. And that's what we call as non-stocked project operations, where you are offering these as a service to the client, and it brings in an additional element of challenge when you do these services for a client. So that's where you have the non-stocked project management implementation. And then when you talking about the stocked one, these are typically manufacturing organizations or um, um, oil and gas organizations where you have significant inventory, you are into a production business, you manage the entire delivery for a particular client as a project, you take the requirements, you provide the quotation, you manage the resource allocation, inventory allocation to the project, and then you have your whole production process, which then gets tracked, and you have the delivery. So those are the three basic models that we have looked at when we have delivered project management related solutions. Now I will hand over to my colleague Satish. He will walk through the project management module and give an overview and demo of the solution. And before we get started, there is another quick poll for you. Again, just to understand your requirements and what you're looking at, and then we get into the deep dive session. Anshul, over to you for the poll, and thank you again, everyone. Hope you have a great session, and we look forward to more questions from you. And over to you, Satish.
Thank you, Anish. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. So, Anshul, just let me know once the poll is completed so that we can get started the session.
Sure, Satish. Already, I think 70 odd people have responded. We are getting the responses, but primarily we see that a lot of people are from core industries, core industrial industries like manufacturing, engineering, construction, oil and gas. There are a significant number of people from professional services as well. So these two specific segments are there where we need to focus on with respect to project management.
Fine. Okay. Thanks, Anshul. So let's get started with that. I'm sharing my screen. Just let me know whether everyone can see my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Satish, it's visible.
Yes,
you can
Satish,
go ahead.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, team, I'll just go through the complete project module, which is available in D365. I'll take you a walkthrough of the full process from project creation to the project building. And there is one step ahead, which is a quotation as well, which will also, it's a part of the same process, how you create the project. So I'll just touch base on how the project quotation will be created and how it will be converted as a project. But the primary focus of this session is mainly how to deal with the project operations from creation till the billing. Okay, so this is how the session is focused on. And please post your questions in the chat session. So we will address it one by one by saying it after the session, or we will be providing a Q&A session. So the session will be continuously going on. So please post your questions in the chat box. So I'll be switching between slides as well as the system. So just let me know if you can able to follow the same flow. Okay. Okay. So as I said, the project module, we have an option. Okay. Just before that, we have a 20% of the audience, which is not at all familiar with D365 finance and operation system. So I'll just give a quick walkthrough on the user interface of D365 finance and operation for the new users, so that they will be comfortable on getting into the interface, and then they can relate the project modules. Okay, so for the new person who doesn't have any idea about the D365, it's a cloud-based the environment, and it will work with your Microsoft Office 365 authentication. And this is the home page. And you can see tiles, lots of tiles. This is called workspaces. It's a role-based workspaces, as well as the user can personalize his own workspaces in this particular screen. And if you open any of the tile, which is uh, the workspaces, it will take you to the particular project management, and you will do your daily activities through these tiles, not a traditional approach like remembering your navigation path and clicking where to go. All these hassles has been removed. Now it's a very good interface where the users can easily operate the system, and they can do their daily operations effectively. Okay, so if I just click that, it would automatically redirect to your the module screen. So this is how the workspaces are designed, and you can able to customize your own workspaces as well. And since the D365 Finance and Operation is an extensive application which has finance, supply chain, project management module, cost accounting, all types of modules. So these are the list of modules which is available in our D365 Finance and Operations. And primarily, we are going to focus today only on the project management and accounting. The rest of the sessions, as Anish said, there is a supply chain and finance deep dive session is already completed from our side, but it's available in our link, so you can have a go through on it of for the first session, which has overall capabilities of D365. Okay, so now coming back to our the primary agenda of the session is the project accounting module. Okay, so how a project will be operated in an organization. It can be any industry, it can be an IT industry, it can be manufacturing industry, or it can be any type of firm. But a project will follow through these steps. And before awarding the project, yes, obviously we will be providing the project quotation and the RFP as per the customer's requirement. And once the deal is signed, then the project is getting converted. So basically, the project quotation is also a part of a WBS or our budgeting, which is also a part of a project module. So after defining your WBS, a quotation will be submitted, and if we want it, we will be creating as a project, or else we will update the quotation as, or the we have lost the quotation. That's the pre-process of project quotation. But our primary topic is project management, so I skipped that part. So I'm directly focusing on only the project operations from creation to billing. Okay, so any organization, when a project is created, first thing, what are the steps they will be following? Then they have their work breakdown structure of a project. It can be any project. It can be fixed price. It can be investment. It can be time and material, anything. So any project should have a WBS. And from the WBS, we need to set a budget for that particular project. And then we need to plan our resources for the particular project. Then once the project is kicked off, then we need to track our expenses, cost booking, and particular operations of the project. All these project transactions will happen. Once that is done, then comes the revenue recognition of the project, which can be of any type. It can be fixed price, time and material. Or the other projects will not be any revenue recognition because it's a part of an internal organization. So only very few projects will have the revenue recognition concept. So these are the preliminary steps which every organization used to do. So we will go step by step, and I will explain you all the types of projects currently available in our D365. And then I will show you the specific scenarios of all these particular type of projects. Okay. In our D365, these are the type of projects which is available: time and material, fixed price, investment, cost project, internal, and time project. Okay. So what are these types of projects? It's maybe everyone will be familiar. So I will just have a walkthrough of it. Time and material project is nothing but there can be a defined WBS which we can able to set a like it can be material or manpower supply, and we will be having our own cost price, and also we will be dealing with the sales price to the customer. So what will be my billing for my material or the manpower? So there is no any fixed contract or any milestone basis billing. It depends upon the consumption of the customer. That is called time and material. So, and we can able to set it up whether this particular activity is billable or non-billable, so that we can able to track our internal cost if it is non-billable. So these type of projects and activities will take care in the time and material project. Next is fixed price project. Fixed price project is nothing but a contract or the particular billing rules will be set for the fixed price. There cannot be any variation in the project. If it is a variation, yes, obviously there will be a budget revision for the whole project and then it will go on. So the price is fixed and we will be setting up several milestones for this project. After every milestone completion, how are we billing the customer and how are we recognizing the revenue as per the work in progress. So this process of operating the project will come under fixed price project. Okay, next is cost project. This is purely, it's like I can say this cost internal and time project. It's for our internal tracking. So for example, if our internal project is going on, or I want to track only the cost of the project for my reporting basis or the operational basis. So this cost project will be used. Okay, only for our mainly for our cost tracking of the particular project. What is an investment project? Investment project is nothing but there will not be any earnings out of it, but our project will be executed towards a period of time. It can be short term or it can be long term. But after the completion of the project, we need to capitalize this cost into our fixed asset in order to do our depreciation for the particular investment. So this is called an investment project. It can be on short or long, or you can directly expense out of your investment cost which you incurred in the project. It is based on the organizational decision. And internal project, as I said, it doesn't have any billing or any external customer involved in the project. Same, it is a part of a cost project. Cost project and internal project has a same behavior, which is used only for tracking our internal cost of the company. Next is time project. This time project is only to track the time sheets or the time consumed for the particular projects and only for the resources who has been allocated. It's a time tracking project for our cost analysis. There is no same as like internal and investment. There is no external customers are involved in the particular time project. Okay, these are the overall types of projects. And in this demo, we are going to focus on investment, internal, fixed price, and time and material. These are the four types of projects which we are going to focus on this particular demo. And what are the steps involved in those projects is the forthcoming slides, which we have added up over here. So as we said, maybe I can just switch it to the screen if you want. Like if we go to the projects, whatever the types of projects which we talked about is all over the project management accounting. And if you click all projects and if you click new, and as you see, these are the list of the projects which we have gone through in the previous slides. So I'll go with the first project, which is the fixed price, and then I'll take the remaining projects in the coming slides. Okay. Before the project, we have two major concepts which is involved in the project module. One is project group and second one is a project category. What is a project group? This project group is not like a grouping of a certain projects and used for the reporting. No, the terminology is project group, but what is the significance of this particular setup? The project group will define how this project is going to be behave for the accounting standards. Let's say if it is let's say any fixed price project, few companies may go with only WIP concept. Few companies will go with the direct profit and loss. Whenever the fixed asset, whenever the fixed price project is happening, I want to book my cost and revenue in my profit and loss. And few company will keep on doing in the WIP and they will recognize as per the progress percentage. So any company can able to design their own project execution style. So in order to do that, And same company can have both the type of concepts also. It can be W for a short-term fixed price, they can go directly for the P&L. For the long-term fixed price project, they can go with the WAP. So you can create a multiple projects groups, and then you are setting up how this project accounting behavior should happen. That's where this setup is set. If you see in this screenshot, this is a completed percentage contract fixed price type. I'm taking everything in the balance sheet. Then I will do the revenue recognition and the cost elimination after the every month end. So that's how it used to behave if I do the project group. And when I attach to this to the particular project when I'm creating it, that's where the setup will start behaving that. If you see my previous screen, you can see the project group which is attached to it. I think the screen is not visible. I can show you in the system. And if you attach the project group to the project, that's how the accounting principle will start for the particular project. And next is project categories. What is project category means? You can create the different types of categories and you can attach what type of transaction is this category is about. For example, if you take a material, so the transaction type will be item. If I want manpower or any labor related involved categories I want to create, or a particular cost has to be accounted for that particular category, then you can set it up the transaction type as however. Then the other expenses like an travel or any flight or those things will be under the expense transaction type. So these are the main three categories of transaction types, and attached to the project category will be captured in the cost booking. So the budget control also will able to control by through the project categories. Okay. So these are the two main setups which is required for you to execute a project. Okay. So let's start with a fixed price project, which is in the WAP process. If you see here, this is the project group which I'm talking about. The project group will be the main mapping of this particular project and how the accounting will happen for this project. That's how the mapping is happening. And the contract ID and customer, I will come back to it, so that for this customer is the project which you are going to execute. And this contract ID has its the milestone billing based upon the contract which you have agreed with the customer, which I will show you in the coming screenshots. Okay, so as we discussed in the first screenshot, after creating the project, we need to define our work breakdown structure. That is also a key point in order to set our the cost involved and the revenue involved for the particular project. Okay, so the work breakdown structure is categorized into two ways. One is manpower scheduling and one is the cost estimate. There are two views of WBS. In the scheduling view, you can see what is the resource utilization and all those stuff, and cost estimate side, you can see what is the actual cost incurred. Okay, these are the two views which is available in the work breakdown structure when we import it. And it can be imported and directly integrated with your Microsoft project as well. So it's a seamlessly integrated since it's a single platform of Microsoft. So they have a direct integration between the Microsoft project and as well as the project WBS. Okay, you can publish it from the Microsoft project directly to this particular project. It will be appeared in the same WBS in the project screen. Okay. Now, in the cost estimate screen, if you can see, I have set some cost for the particular item, expense, and hour. These are the three type of transactions which can be keyed in into the system. And for these, each type of transaction type, it is attached to the project category, which we discussed earlier. So this setup is important for controlling the budget as well as the our analysis purpose. Okay, so you need to define these are the WBS lines. Let's say the phase one, these are the activities. In phase two, what are the resource requirements we need for the particular project? So we will build n number of lines of WBS and we will attach for each activity what are all the requirements required in order to complete this particular activity. So we will be defining our, it can be material, it can be labor, or it can be expense. You will be defining your cost as well as sales price for your analysis. Sales price, why you need to specify? Because if it is a time and material, that sales price is the billing price for for the invoice proposal, which I will explain you when the time and material project comes in. Okay, so once this WBS have been published, now the budget control should be enabled for the project. It is optional. If organization wants to control the project through this budget control, we need to enable this project budget control. And also you can have a flexibility to overrun particular budgets based on your the rules and the user settings, user group settings. You can able to override it. And what is the main source of project budget control? The main thing is it can be taken from the category wise budget or activity wise. If you see, I can able to control for this activity, I have this budget, so I should not exceed that budget is the activity based budget. Category based budget is I can have n number of activities, but overall just track the budget only by the category wise. So these are the two differences which is which we can able to control the budget by category wise or activity wise. Okay, so when we do the budget setup, these are the options you have to select in order to control the budget of the project. And overrun permissions, we have already explained to you. If you have any specific user groups wherein they can able to overrun the particular project, we can able to set it up in the system. So how a project budget is set up? The project budget will be set up by importing the work breakdown structure or through the project forecast. We need to specify the project forecast, or you need to import what are all my budget has to be set from the project categories. Please take it from the work breakdown structure. So you need to specify that as well when you importing the project budget into the project. Okay, so these are the two control sources which we need to take it forward. So till this point, I will just show you how the WBS is available into the system. Till this point, I will show you in the system how it is has been designed. As we talked about, we are going to work breakdown structure. And as I said, we have two views. One is scheduling and cost estimates. Scheduling means it will just take the number of efforts in hours and what is our number of resources and how it is consumed. That is the scheduling part. And this is the cost estimate part. If we can expand, you can see the cost price and the quantity and what is the unit sales price. You can able to define it if it is a time and material project. And the next availability is the project budget control. The project budget control setup is available in the budget and forecast section of the project. And then you can able to enable this project. And in order to go for the project budget, you need to go over here and then you need to import it. Since we have already set up the project based on my category wise, not an activity wise, it has consolidated all the budget which is available for this project. It will control each category wise of these categories in this particular project. And you can able to take the projects from the forecast as well. In overall forecast also, this is another source which we explained on the project. You can take it from the forecast as well to the project budget control. So till this, these are the areas which we have covered. And this is common for all type of projects, irrespective of time and material costs. So there will be my screenshots which will be showing the process repeating. So this project till this WBS and resource scheduling, it's all very common for all type of projects involved in the system. Okay, so I will not repeat the same steps when we go for the next type of the project. I will be focusing what is the identical process of that particular project type. I will be focusing only on that area. The generic basic of all the project is till this structure, it is the same. Next, coming up the resource scheduling. The resource scheduling is the system wherein you can allocate your all your employees and contractors, not contractors in the sense external. There is a contracting employees and a permanent employee. That's what I meant about. There are in employee in HR module, it has been two types of human resource type is there. One is employer and one is contractor. So all your employees and contractors will be showing in the screen and as per their working times and project calendar. And in human resource module, there is a separate setup of their working hours, time, and the cost. All these can be set up in the human resource model, which I will show it later. And it will show you what is their available hours of the weekly basis, monthly basis. And as a project planner or the centralized project planner can start allocating the resources on partial basis by either it can be soft booking or hard booking. And hard booking in the sense this cannot be changed in the any other projects because he will not show the availability for the remaining projects. Soft booking means it is partially available wherein he can able to change it back at the time of the scheduling. That is the difference between the soft booking and hard booking. Okay, so if you see this, I can able to book and specify the number of hours and for which project I need to allocate. I can able to request it. There are several process in you can set it up. Either you can start with the resource request. From the resource request, the planner will approve it and then he will allocate the resource. Or by skipping the resource request, directly a planner can able to schedule the resources by seeing this resource availability. Okay, so if you see the particular resource which is partially available, it shows that this particular resource is engaged for this project from this time to this time, and it is a hard booking. So you can able to review the availability in the screen and which project they are allocated to. You can able to see it in the screen. Okay, so if I want to just show you the same in the screen. If you can see, there is the project resources and you can see the project resources list as well as the steps which I explained to you now. This is the resource request wherein you can able to resource, I mean, you can request the resources for your particular project and it will go for an approval. And then you can able to come back for your allocation of the resources. And resource availability screen is the one which you can able to see the number of resources available and how to book it from your side as well. Just a second. Yeah, if you can see this, these are the number of resources and you can able to book for this week also. Like you can either you can to full capacity you want to book it or you want to specify this particular number of hours in the particular project. You can able to specify, and this is the reservation details which you can able to see in the screen, like which project has been allocated to which resource. Okay, so if you see here, now you can see the reservation details, which I showed you in the system now. So this is how the resource scheduling will happen. So till now, what we have seen is creation of the project, defining our cost or the WBS, then how the WBS has been published, then how a project budget can be controlled by importing our cost or the WBS cost. That will be a project control position. Now, once the project has been kicked off, now we started our resource scheduling. So the resource scheduling and resource booking has been completed till this stage. This is where we are standing at now. So assume that all the projects, everything has been assigned and now the project operations are going to start, which is the further steps which we are talking about. So when I quickly get started, just a moment. Okay. Now our project has been started. Now every project member would have its own requirements in order to execute the project. So what are all the tasks which is required for us to execute the project? If you can see sales order, purchase order, production order, purchase requisition, RFQ, sales agreement, and purchase agreement. Obviously, if it is a huge project, every team has its own role to perform the operations, but it has to be tied up to a project in order to track my budget as well as actuals. So the project module in the D365, all these processes, I mean, it's independent. But when you create via project module, the project ID will be traveling throughout the process in order to capture your actual cost and it control the budgets for the project. That is the only difference between the creation of all these tasks from the project module. Okay, so sales orders will be obviously yes if it is any time and material, if any ad hoc requirement comes in, but if we need to bill it to the customer means we can the salesperson or the project manager can able to create the sale order from here, and then that will be directly billable to the customer. Then purchase order. In order to execute a project, there can be several purchases. It can be services or it can be products. So this project, when the purchase order is raised, and if you want to consume the items for the particular project, and the category cost will be booked according to the map to the item master. Okay. Now, production order, if it is a manufacturing company, yes, this is an engineering project wherein we need to do some projects, production. So we will create a production order for this particular item for this particular project. So these are all a complete flow from all throughout all the process till the end of the project. So these are the processes which I don't want to go one by one, but obviously if you have any vendor agreement, sales agreement, or you need to take some quotations, so it is always advisable to create all these task requirements from the particular project, or you can go to the independent modules. But when you are creating all these, you need to select the project ID importantly in order to consume the budget from this particular project. That has to be kept in mind when you are doing it from the independent process. So these are the total item task is required for this. Now, let's say all your sources of documents have been created. You created the purchase orders, or you may have the stock in your inventory itself. So it can be different scenarios. It can be anything which can be done. But what are the ways of cost booking, especially the item journal? How an item, let's say if you create a purchase order and the GRN is made and invoice is booked, it has came to an inventory. There are two steps. Either you store in the inventory and issue to the project team for the issuance. Or second option, there is another option wherein a purchase order is invoiced. Automatically, that item inventory cost will be booked at the same moment when the invoice is raised. So there are two options. Either you can enable the parameter to auto consume the inventory when the purchase order is invoiced, or you take it to the inventory and then you can able to issue to the project team for the consumption. So if you are issuing the items via consumption, then you will be using the item journal. Hour journal. Hour journal, you have two types of hour journal. Like either a manually person can select the resource and then they can specify the number of hours consumed in the project, or there is a default project timesheet mobile app which Microsoft by default they have published it. You can just when the D365 Finance and Operation app, if you have downloaded, you can able to see the option here, and then you can start entering the timesheet through mobile, and it will go to the respective supervisor approval. Once it is approved, automatic hour journal will be posted if the timesheet is booked via mobile app. And your expense journal, same way, a separate journal can be created by selecting the project category, and the journal can be posted for the direct consumption. If not, there is an expense management module which is by default available in the system. Through that, you need to select the project ID and book the expenses. the expenses also will be recorded in the project module. So these are the sources of booking of the cost of a particular project. Okay, so just I want to focus on here, like as we talk about the same projects. We can see these are the okay. Before that, you may have a like a you need a clarification like how an item is consumed, how it is taking the respective categories. So if you go to an item master, everywhere the project category is attached to it. That's how the integrated module works. If an item is there, there will be a project section wherein you can able to assign the categories to the product. You see here, in an item master, any item involved in the item consumption, in item master, we need to attach which category it belongs to. Same way in human resource, there is a project setup wherein you need to set up this employee is related to which our expenses which I am going to map. There is a separate project module tab which is available. You need to see that setup as well. Same way in the if you see this project module for this employee list, the project setup and project categories assign the project categories are all set over here. Same way in expense management, which I've talked about in the expenses. If you go to the expense management, in expense categories of the booking, you will be attaching which project category I need to use again. It can the same expense category is used in project as well. And what is the category of the expenses is attached over here. So overall, it is interlinked. In any module, in any way, if we pass a transaction, the final output will be it will consume the actual cost by using this particular project category. This is the concept out of it. Okay, so that's how the project cost can be tracked in all types of projects. Okay, so now, so overall, now we have talked about the cost perspective. In cost perspective, it can be any type of project, as I mentioned. The way of cost booking, resource scheduling, and WBS specification, it's the same. Only thing is you are going to define which activity is billable and which activity is not billable. That's now here in fixed price project specifically. In fixed price project, we need to specify what are all the milestones of the particular milestones of the milestones has to be specified for each contract. In any fixed price project, which customer, which is the contract ID, and under that contract ID, what are my billing rules for this particular project? So here, if you see, I have given 3 milestones: first installment, this much value; second installment, and third installment. And we can able to take one of the milestones. If the milestone is completed, you will be mark it as complete and take this milestone for my billing. It doesn't, it is not related to any of your revenue recognition. It is just booking of your WIP revenue or accrued revenue when you are taking this billing rules. Okay, so if you see the customer account and non-account transaction ledgers will be impacted once we have the billing rule. Because fixed price project, if it is a P&L, it is not a problem. You can directly create an invoice proposal and you can book the revenue at the same moment. Whereas if it is a billing rule, there should be a milestone specified. From the milestone, the invoice will be raised. So there are different types of billing can be happening for a fixed price project. Okay, so these are the billing rules. Now, let's say the invoice part is completed, but how will we recognize our revenue? It is obviously based upon our cost consumption and how much is the percentage of the cost we have consumed and what is my percentage of the completion of the project. All these process system will take care of it, because when you consume for the cost required on the particular month end, now system will tell you as per the cost consumed, the estimated the percentage completion is 32.20 percentage, and contract value is 120,000. Our revenue is 50,000. Now it is going to accrue only 32% of it, which is 38.678 is going to be my accrued revenue. So it shows you how the revenue has to be booked as per our cost completion. This is the process of revenue recognition for the fixed price project. As I already mentioned, if it is a P&L based fixed price project, which we defined in the project group, it will directly book it as a revenue when we book an invoice. That's how the project group also is interlinked over here. Now, if you see my revenue recognition voucher, everything, the cost will be booked, but all it will sit in my WIP and accrued revenue will be booked. So you can see it is on WIP labor and my expense, everything will be sitting as an accrued revenue till I make an elimination. Okay, this is how the revenue recognition for the fixed price project for the WIP type. Okay, so till this is how the fixed price project works. So overall, we are since we have another 2-3 projects to be covered in. So these are the fixed price project methodologies which is used in the industry. So as per your any questions are there, we can able to address it. Now we are moving into the investment project. So investment project is the same. It can be long term or it can be short term, and there is no project contracts or billing rule will be defined because it's an organizational investment project. So by default, system contract ID will be disabled. Okay, then it's a process repetition only. You can ever same WBS will be set it up, project budget, resource scheduling, and cost booking, which we had a overview over there. That's how the cost booking will happen. Now, let's assume that our cost is booked. Now we need to see in my investment project, what is my approved budget, what is my original budget, what is my consumed, and what is my remaining. So after the cost booking of against the project categories, you will have the project balances, and then you can able to see what is my budget per category wise and what is my consumed budget in the project. So it will show you clearly, or it will give you the clarity on what is our consumption rate of the project categories in the project balances. Okay, so now like same type of the revenue recognition in the fixed price project, there is an investment recognition. There is a process like whatever the cost which we have incurred in the particular investment project, how should I want to convert it to as a fixed asset? That process is called the investment recognition. So after completion of or after consumption of uh, all the cost, it will show you when I click recognition of the cost, it will show you all my 100% of the cost has been consumed. Now I need to take this cost and put it as my fixed asset, and then I need to acquire the fixed asset. So once the cost recognition has happened, we need to create a fixed asset and attach the fixed asset to the elimination process. What is the elimination process is nothing but once the elimination process is completed only, it will reverse all your WIP ledgers and then it will go to the actual fixed asset as an acquisition. That is the process of the elimination. If you see here, after elimination, all your WIP got reversed and then it has been acquired to the tangible fixed asset, and the process of elimination has been completed, and your fixed asset, the price has been acquired to the same cost of your project which have been incurred. So this is the type of an investment project. There is a possibility that partially you can able to do it as well. there is a separate setup wherein you can split your investment and then you can able to recognize into the multiple assets as well. So that is the second type of process which you can able to do it. That there is no rule that all the cost has to be put into a same fixed asset. It is not necessary. You can able to split it into multiple assets as well. So this is the investment project type. Okay. So if you want to see what is the investment project type is, as we see, it's the same. There is no contract ID in the system and there is no external customer. And it's a simple same WBS work breakdown structure. It also has the same type of this one. We have used the same WBS, so it will be easy for everyone to understand the same list of items only we used it. And then you can see what are all my as you see, first we have just consumed all the cost of it, and then we have eliminated the this thing by creating the fixed asset, and the fixed asset have been acquired. If you go to the fixed asset, it will show you it is in the acquired status, and then it will show you the acquisition price as well. If you see the books, you see status is open and the acquisition price has been updated over here after the completion of the investment project, after all your cost. If you want to see your all your cost booking, you can see the posted transactions, and you can see what are all the costs have been incurred for this particular project. You will see the category wise and transaction type wise. We can able to see the actual posting happen for the particular project. This is the overall investment project related steps which we have seen till now. So now we are moving to the next type, which is called time and material. Okay. Okay. So time and material is the project wherein we will be billing the customer based on our the consumption of a material or a manpower. And you can see there is a contract ID is also specified, customer is also specified, but there will not be any milestone basis billing. It's purely it will be based upon only the consumption based billing. So the process remains the same. We will be going again with the same breakdown structure, project budget, resource schedule, cost booking. There is no change in the process of this type of project, but how the billing will change and the cost booking will change. If you see the cost booking, I have seen the material has been consumed, which the accounting entry will be inventory directly. It will be credited and my expense will be booked. Same way, the labor hours has been booked, and as well as the cost of the labor has been booked. My expenses also the same way. My travel expense is debited, and it is cost of the project also has been incurred on it. Okay. So now when I go to the invoice, when I go and select the invoice proposal, whatever the date for the month which I'm extracting from the start date and end date, it will list down all my transactions which is posted for this particular project, and it will select you for which activity also. You can select whatever the items has to be billed for this particular month. And time and material is always like it can be handled in two ways. One, you can still use WAP method also. Otherwise, we can use the same balance sheet as well as P&L. So you can keep on accruing the revenue in the WAP, or whenever the invoice is raised or the billable is given to the customer, you can recognize the revenue also. It can be in two ways. Okay. So if you see all the transaction type is selected, I'm going to book an invoice. So immediately the invoice will be booked and the revenue will be booked and the receivable will be booked. That's how the process of the cycle. So I'll just show any of the invoice vouchers if you would like to see. You see the time and material. Um, if you see my posted transactions, these are my cost. Okay, and whatever the cost has been involved in this, and then these are my invoice journal. You see, these are the invoices which I have raised by selecting my invoice transaction. So only one of the power I have taken, and I have taken the expenses as well, and there is no material has been involved, and this is the project category. So you can see the details of the invoice transactions and what is the invoice. And if you see the voucher, it will be the revenue and the directly the customer. In time and material in WBS, it is advisable to give the sales price because based on that sales price only, system will automatically calculate the revenue based out of it. Okay, based on that sales price only, system is multiplying the either it can be expense or labor. It is taken into the quantity consideration and the revenue is booked. So it is important that sales price has to be entered into the WBS. Okay, so this is the time and material project. The rest of the process is the same, which we don't want to repeat it again. There can be in further sections, if you want, we can talk about the subscription billing, which will come in the later sessions. But these sessions we are not covering on it now. So this is the invoice time and material. Okay. So moving on to the next type of project, which is internal projects. Internal project is purely based on our cost tracking. There is no much steps to be done. It is the same repetition of the process of what we have discussed is same WBS project budget, resource and cost. Then after that, it is just checking versus budget versus actual. There is no other significant billing or any customers involved in the internal projects and cost projects and time projects. All these three is almost like a same behavior in order to have a cost tracking of a project into an organization. That are the types. So now we have covered all type of projects and what are all the feasibility and what are the studies and what are the steps we need to do for our project operations. Now there are few more concepts which we need to know about in the project is customer advance recovery from the customer retention, and we need to request for our retention amount and back-to-back payments project setup and vendor retention. What are these concepts is about? When a project is kicked off, we can able to receive the customer advance as our advance from the customers, and then we can able to recover this advance whenever we do the invoices. So these are the options which is available. Like you have, you can say how much is the customer advance. Either you can take a straight advance or as a revenue budget, you can take some percentage out of it. You can provide an advance amount and you can able to park it in the customer advance, and then whenever advance recovery, and then you need to create an invoice for this advance, then the payment will be received from the customer. Now in further billing, you can apportionate this particular advance. Let's say we have a $1,000 as an advance. Now our next invoice is for around $100. It's 10% out of it. So $10 will can be deducted from your advances, or $100 will be deducted from your advance, and then remaining 90 will be the receivable from the customer. So this is the customer advance and advance recovery concept, which is typically happening in every industry. Like the customer advance is received, and whenever the advance is raised, now we need to recover the certain percentage out of the every invoice proposal. That's how the industry works in the customer advance related. Or certain things they will directly knock off with the first, if it is very minimal amount of customer advance, they will directly knock it out of in the first invoice proposal itself. It is up to the decision of an organization. Okay. Now, what is a customer retention? So the customer retention means in the fixed price project, if it is a huge value of the project, for every invoice, the customer will retain certain percentage of the amount in the project. Like that, how we are able to going to set up, it is going to be setting it up in the project contract ID. Here, if you see here, there will be a retention percentage in the project. 1 second, let me go to the files. Go to my contract. I'll just find out where is that retention percentage, but actually in the project contract, you need to give the details of the milestone as well as the retention percentage. So based on the retention percentage setup, system will automatically detect the particular invoice, particular value out of the invoice value, and it will store it in the retention table. Like you can see the request retained amount. If you click this, all your retention which you have taken from the customer, you will be seeing the details over here. From there, you will be requesting the retention amount out of the project. This is called the customer retention and the request for my retention amount for the whole project. Back-to-back payments is a new feature which is latestly introduced like 4-5 months back. There is a new feature which is docs is available wherein you can verify it. Back-to-back payments you can able to set up when the customer pays you the project value. The same way you can able to make a payment to the vendor. Back-to-back automatic entry will be posted. That setup is recently has been introduced from the Microsoft as a new feature like a few months back. That is called back-to-back payments. Vendor retention is same like a customer retention, like how you are able to going to retain the vendor amount when you are making a purchase order or any services rendered from the vendor. That is called your vendor retention. So these are the other concepts involved in the project module or the project operations. So till now we have gone through all the project related operations, how the cost, how the revenue, and what type of projects can be executed. This is the short summary of the sessions which we have taken now. Now we are moving to the final portion of the session, which is the reporting side. Like what are the reports or what are the insights which we will be getting out of the projects on project types. So first thing is the project statement. For any type of project, if you see in the WIP section, this is the fixed price project. What is my cost and what is my total WIP cost booked for the project? And how what is my invoice value or what is the milestone value have been billed to the customer, and what is my net WIP. So these are the project statements for each type of project. It will move on with the each tab wise. If it is a profit and loss means either it can be fixed price, which is directly taking into the P&L. You need to get the details from profit and loss tab. Or if it is a time and material, same way you will be taking the profit and loss for the project statement. This is how the project statement report for each project. You will be having a visibility of what's happening in the project. Next is the cash flow. the same way, you can able to take the cash flow, like what is the inflows, which is the invoice proposal. What are my outflows, like what are the purchase orders or any invoices have been booked or cost is booked. That is the outflow. What is the net cash flow? And the breakup of the cash flow is even specified over here during the operating activities. So you will able to see what is my net cash flow of the project also. You can able to see in the project statements. Okay. So I will show you in the screen. Can able to see the project statements. Yeah, if I can run, let's say first till date, including all type of transactions. If I click calculate, if I go to the WIP, you can see the values over here. What is my WIP cost and WIP involved in my project, and what is my net WIP. You will not see anything in the profit and loss because as per my project group, I have specified that my project accounting should happen in the WIP. That's why you are seeing it in the WIP. Okay. So the same way, I'll just take over to the cash flow also. The cash flow also, if you give the from date, if you give today's date, so it will give you what all the inflows and outflows which you see in the screenshot. You can able to have a clear clarity on what should be paid for and what should be our inflows for the project. So what is my net cash flow? These are the reports, and these are my project budget balances to see how much. Either I can go by transaction type wise or I can go by category wise. Category wise, we can able to see what is my cost incurred for the project. Or if I go by transaction type, you can see item, hour, and expenses. What is the remaining budget? What is my consumed budget? And what is my commitment? Commitment in the sense, if the purchase orders are created and it is approved, means it will be coming into the commitment as a particular project, and remaining budget will be reduced from this commitment. So these are the project budget related tracking for per particular project. And this committed cost is nothing but the detail of the commitment which we have for the POs which have been created. So it will give you the list of the committed cost. Okay. So these are the in module wise project specific insights in the very quick way. These are the reports which is available in the inquiries which is available in the project module. Now, what is the report wise? It has a number of reports in the project module. Like you can see inquiries and reports, we have lots of retention related, price related, and whatnot. Maybe you can take actual versus budget of hour, transactions, items, any type of reports. You can able to take it from the project module by category wise, activity wise, or transaction type wise. So these are the default SSRS reports which you have. You can able to take the report out of it. Maybe I can see here. We can see all reports like category wise, profit and loss, resource wise. Either it can be comparison between two periods. What is my actual versus budget? So you can explore it in a detailed way whenever find time. So this is the default reports which is available. Now we are moving to the final part, or the analytics part. By default, system is providing you an insights of what is my gross margin, or how my project is performing. Basically, what is my resource utilization? All these type of analytics in the project module. They have given you what is my overview related, cost related, revenue related, and hours related. So if you can see in the focus mode, like These are the list of legal entities wherein the projects have been ongoing, and what is the percentage of completion, and what is my actual billable ratio, and what is my performance index. So this is one of the report which will give you an insights of total percentage progress which is happening by the customer. And if you see what is my actual revenue based on each customer wise, or you can able to modify this report based on the project wise as well, project wise revenue, which may be coming up in the further slides. So this is the revenue wise, and this is the gross margin by project. These are the by project wise, what are the gross margin by each project. So if you can see our webinar investment or internal rates loss or profit, you can able to see all these projects which is coming as a budget level gross profit. Now, actual versus budget. By month wise, it is you can able to filter by legal entity, or you can able to see by project wise as well. So you can add your custom filters and you can able to filter it based on your need basis. And this is by category wise. This is overall budget, and this is category wise budget, because as I said, we can create a number of categories and attach it to the transaction type. So based on each category, you can able to visualize what is my actual versus budget by category wise as well. Okay. And this is by year and type wise. Next is the overall revenue. Like it can be any type of project billing, a fixed price, or as per milestone billing, or as per the time and material consumption. What is my revenue of the projects by month wise? So similarly, you can able to see which category is giving me a better revenue. So all type of analytics is available in the revenue side. And this is the actually what is the billable and utilized hours. You can if any consulting industries are there, which is really important, like how much is billed as per the utilized hours. You can able to uh, see the analytics, and you can able to take a management decision how we can improve our utilization of the resources. So these are the overall insights which you will get out of the project module. So this is the very high level project module, how it will operate, and what are all the functionalities which is available in the project module. We have just showcased it now. And any industry specific or any scenario based any setups can be configured, and it depends upon the industry which how they are operating and what type of operations or the what type of process flows they are following. And Microsoft has already taken care of all type of industry, and they have catered as per the industrial standards. They have actually, as per the ISO standards, they have already captured all type of accounting principles in the systems as well. So this is overall high level, and as per, I think we are on track on time. So last 15 minutes or 20 minutes, we kept it for QA. So if anything you want to discuss on it, we can come to a discussion at this point. Anish, over to you. Thanks for the opportunity. Now we can address the questions from the participants.
Sure. Thank you so much, Satish. We already had a number of questions that Sajir helped us answer, but we can open up for questions. Anyone wants to ask a question, please raise your hand and we can unmute you so that you can ask your question.
Parijay, you can ask your question. I have enabled your mic, so you can unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
So Fanija is still mute.
Ibrahim, Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Bashar.
Enabled now, so I can ask the question. There any opportunity to have this session recorded, because I have not been focused 100% and I missed some information, so I want to look at them later on today.
Sure. Yes, we have recorded the session. We will share the recording on our website and we'll circulate the link with everyone who has joined.
Thank you. Okay.
All those who have raised their hands, I have enabled their mic, so you can just unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, just noticed. Thank you so much. Thank you also for the detailed presentation or demonstration of the projects, of the Microsoft projects module. I do have a question. We are an organization that goes through tenders usually, and we were thinking that since there is no tendering module, I raised this question also in the Q&A, but I ended up not getting the answer so far. So I thought of raising it here in public. So can we consider like a Microsoft project can be a tendering module that can handle every single tender individually as a project where you can raise purchase orders for the tendering items and do the sales orders as well upon deliveries. Also, it's going to have some sort of a scheduling for the deliveries for the sales. Like, for example, you deliver this quantity on January, you deliver this quantity on February, you deliver this quantity on June, and so on. And you can do that kind of budgeting that once you deliver the items, you can raise an invoice for the tendering organization or whatever. Is that possible to be done with Microsoft projects?
Yes. Go ahead, Saji, please.
No, Satish, okay.
Yeah. See, as if you can remember that in one of the presentation, we showed that item task, and you have that request for quotation, right? So you are issuing a tender to the market in order to invite your vendors to put your bid, right? Yeah, am I right? As my understanding is correct. So you are starting up the project and you are exposing a tender to the vendors, and then they need to start bidding for that particular tender, and you will be awarding the vendor, and then the further process will go on. Is this the scenario which you're talking about, right? This is
sort of, but the only difference, sorry for interrupting you, but the only difference here, Satish, is that the tender is already raised and I'm the supplier. Can I handle the process of delivering or handling the tender that got awarded to me?
Yeah, hey, let me answer, Satish. Yeah. This process, basically what you are asking is a staggered delivery. As part of one particular project, you want to complete the delivery process based on a sales order. You say like that, out of the 1,000 quantities which I have awarded for this project, this 500 will be delivered in January 1st, remaining 200 in February, remaining in March, April, like that, which you will be able to schedule. Then based on that particular schedule which you created, the system will prompt you and you will be able to deliver the process as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That covers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. First thing is it module based and it should be installed in our servers, or it is a web-based application?
It's a cloud-based solution, but definitely,
Yeah,
the customers are allowed to implement it on-premise, but generally we recommend to implement the cloud-based solution for the customer.
Okay, so would there be any, how do you, TSC will be helping us? Like you will be only supplying that software and leave it to us, or will also do some kind of
We will
any
do the
administration on that?
Yeah, we will do the complete implementation end to end, starting from the requirement gathering till the training, then implementation. Then we will come over there. We will handhold you for support as well. Then you can continue with the ongoing support with TSC for this.
So is it number of users based or how it can be?
It's number of user based.
Number of users based. Okay.
Yeah.
So one standard user and add-ons can be done, or how we can manage?
Are you using any existing ERP or you want to complete implement the
No.
digitalization
Actually,
process?
I am a startup company and we have about 50 people. Okay.
Mm.
And we wanted to implement a good project management system in our system. So
are you
that
a
is
resource-based company or you are a material-based material
No.
resource?
We are an engineering solutions-based company. Like our resources are human, so and we use some certain softwares. Okay. And we provide kind of 3D modeling, 2D drafting stuff to the end users.
Okay.
So we'll have costing of mainly on the hours spent, hours earned kind of stuff, and also deliveries in terms of documents submitted and quality, this kind of stuff. Okay. So yeah, we will be operating simultaneously 5-6 projects. So ranging a manpower from 50 to 100. It depends on the size of the project.
You can implement D365 project operation, the CE model itself alone. Then you can do the project management starting from here. I am just demonstrating. You should be able to start it from the sales process, the inquiry, the lead management, opportunity management. You can start creating the base project. Then you can start allocating resources for this project. Then you should be able to track the resources working based on that one. Then you can issue purchase orders, related everything that you should be able to do till the revenue recognition and reporting.
Do we have any advantage if we have an existing Office 365?
Obviously, you can use a single sign-on. That means the user who will be working with the Office 365 email can use the same email ID to log into the application and start using it. Consider you are allocating a resource for a project. Then the same resource should be able to communicate through the project-related activities, through the teams and related everything. So it's a seamlessly connected digital experience for collaboration and everything when you are having an existing Office 365.
Okay. And I have, let us say, in a project, I have different roles. Like I am a project director and project manager. I have project manager and also project leads. So somebody should be having an authorization to control their access levels. So would that be done by TSC, or I can do it? A higher level person can do it, or a separate admin is required for me?
No, it's a configuration level. Once you require to be trying to use that one, then you should be able to do that very easily.
Okay. Yeah, so this commercial part and when with whom we can discuss, like
we can discuss. You can reach to our sales team. Then we will be able to have a discussion and take it forward from there.
Okay, so we can have a one-to-one discussion also, right?
Yeah, correct. We can have a one-to-one.
Do you have any office outlets here in Hyderabad? We are from basically Hyderabad.
We have a couple of resources, probably 10-15 resources sitting in Hyderabad, but we are based out of UAE and Cochin.
Okay. No problem. Can we have somebody to contact us? So
we can
or
get
you
it
can send us an email of your contact persons here in Hyderabad.
Definitely.
So we will get in touch with them and we'll see how we can collaboratively work together and put it in the cool manner. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Evan.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Also, everyone, I have rolled out a poll. If you would like to consult with us separately, you can just respond to that poll. We will reach out to you.
You have a poll mentioned in the chat box?
Yes, it is in the chat box.
Would you like to consult us with this separately? Yes, definitely. So I think when you see my name, you will be able to extract our contact details, right?
Yeah,
sure.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay then. Thanks. I just voted.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Nitish, Mr. Ayman, you can please ask you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Nitish here. So,
hi, Nitish. Yeah.
A question here. Actually, we are from a manufacturing and servicing company. We are located in Dammam, Saudi Arabia. If you can go to this slide, the last one which you were showing, just wanted to know, so what happens in manufacturing and servicing is we do manufacture some products. So we do have CNC machines, manual machines, and we require, a module which it is already available in Dynamics 365 as a production. So
Yeah.
how we will use a project, and in that project, when we have items to manufacture, to like we need to create some job cards or some job traveler shop cards from the project sites. And when we were talking about the time capturing of the resources, and you showed that it can be done on the mobile. So, does the mobile applications have the feature to, because there might be a possibility that to manufacture a product, there will be different activities or activities to be done,
Yeah.
which we
Yeah.
define in a routing.
Yeah.
So, how does that work from
Yeah.
using the project module?
Yeah. Suppose for this one, that's what we have created this particular session in form of a 3 sessions. One is like that a stock-based scenario, but second one is a resource-based scenario, and third one is, as you rightly asked, that engineering projects. So when it comes to engineering projects, basically you can see the process start from sale. The sale is coming from in form of a lead. Then you will have a costing templates for your estimation process, because generally the estimation for every engineering product can be entirely different. It can be complex. It can be simple as well. Then D365 is having a functionality called engineering change management. Then you can use that functionality for designing your PCTs. PCTs means your project control travelers, or we will be able to simply call it as bill of material. The bill of material can contain your routes as well as the material required for creating the process. You can standardize the process, or it can be an ad hoc based bill of material created based on different operational cycles as well. So then you can have proposal templates and costing templates defined. Then your estimation can be done. As part of your estimation, you will be able to win the quotation. Then you can negotiate, win it, and everything. Then this particular estimation, particular lead one, you should be able to create a work order. Then the project engineer will be able to work on this particular estimation process. You should be able to create the BOM or the project control traveler in a much more sophisticated manner. Then along that, it can be a requisition which will be coming from your store, or it required to create additional purchase orders and stuffs required to be done as part of that one. Then
Correct. So,
the supplier quotation comparison, everything can involve. Then I confirmed my operation. Then it will be able to create a production order. When the production order is getting created, it can go through the route. For this particular example, we created, there is a machining, welding, fitting, then physical inspection, everything will be happening for this particular construction for manufacturing product. Then you should be able to keep track of that one. It depends on the industry. It will be able to do that one. You should be able to attach this particular sales with a project. Then as part of the project, it will be going through the entire cycle out of it. So you can track end-to-end process inside D365 F&O.
correct. And is it possible that when a project engineer knows about the bill of material, when we create a work order and the bill of material is created, to create the purchase requisitions by automation?
Should be able to do that one, because we are using a single system. We are not going to use multiple connected system. It's a single solution. When a work order, there is a purchase requisition is coming, then system will be able to automatically send it into the purchase vendor collaboration portal as well. Then you should be able to make it through a bidding process if your process is that deep. Otherwise, you can directly create a purchase order against the purchase execution to the supplier. Then they should be able to submit the material. Then the material will be allocated with this project, because this products are requested only for this project. So no other projects will be able to take the material, because the project arrived for this particular project.
Correct. So, but what if I am getting a same project from a different customer, same kind of products to manufacture, and the process is same. It can also be an engineering project, and because I have already created a purchase requisition with, and the bill of material and routing is all same. So can the
Then
purchase requisition can be created considering the quantity of the purchase order came in from the customer and the BOM quantity, and it can create the purchase requisition?
Automatically, it will be able to create. So there is
Okay.
a master planning module is there. The master planning look into how many production orders are there in place. What is my material availability in my store? What is my planning process in terms of how much time this particular product will take? What kind of delay it can happen? What should be my optimal inventory and everything? Then you will be able to do the master planning. Then system will automatically create the purchase order required for the production orders.
But that production orders which we are creating in the system are consist of all the customer orders, right?
That's fine. That's fine.
But if I wanted to be specifically ordering for the project, will the master planning be able to create the production order like project wise, or it will consolidate the requirement and then prepare the production order?
It will take the input from, let us say, I have a sales order, then I have a production order, I have a project related orders as well. Then system will look into all of this order for my material requirement.
So it will consolidate.
It will consolidate. Then you should be able to say like that, you have to consolidate or you want to separate it as well. Because the delivery cycle for a project can be different cycle.
Correct. Correct.
The sales order you will be delivering based on a customer related steps, it will be delivering to your warehouse only. So accordingly, then system will be able to take the decision. It can create lines based on that one. The vendor will get two lines. One line say deliver 5 quantity to my warehouse, another 5 quantity to my project location.
But do I have a option to create the purchase order on different vendors as well? Because every
Obviously,
vendor can have
obviously.
different delivery.
That's fine. That's fine. That you can
Okay.
select it. Yeah.
Last question from my side. So on the operations model, like in this chart, when we say it goes to production flow for all the activities like machining, welding, inspection, fitting, can we create a barcoding system there so that we can automate the process of capturing the hours by scanning them,
Yeah.
our resources, our manpower, as well as the material consumed? Because I came to know that the concept of WIP in production, I'm like that's confusion I have is not available because the if the material is getting issued to a production, like whenever we pick it through a routing, it is getting consumed. It is not getting transferred to a WIP account.
So
That what
you can easily configure that in system by saying like that for this particular job, when you will consume the material, when the cost of the material getting recorded against that one. Till the production getting completed, the entire costing will sit in the WAP account only.
okay. Okay, and how does the capturing of material hours
Yeah.
and the
So you consider
resources?
like that the job, you are starting a job, you should be able to either use a mobile app or you can provide a terminal. There people will come, scan their job card and say, I have started my work. Then from there, they should be able to completely say like that, my work got started. Then when they complete the work, they come and say my work got ended as well. So you can completely track end to end in terms of your material, resource usage, their costing, everything you should be able to do it in system. We have done it for very large manufacturing site which they manufacture abayas as well. They got 1,500 plus employees.
Okay, so basically for each activity of each work order or a production order, we can scan, basically our requirement is to scan three dimensions, which will be the human, the manpower, the resource which I'm using to do that job, and the material I have consumed in that particular activity.
You can do that three-dimensionally.
I have also filled up the form for a one-to-one session, so would like to have a call separately.
Sure.
Sorry, just a quick one more question there. Just to confirm, have the Microsoft disabled or restricted to use the payroll management system out of USA?
Yeah. So when you look into the payroll management solution is available from Microsoft out of the box for US region only. We have a custom solution available, which you will be able to use it globally. It's a Microsoft App Source listed product, which is from TSC called Prevolt 365. So
Okay.
we implemented it already in Saudi region for multiple customers as well. It's globally used in GCC across. So we have
Is it?
more than 60 plus customers available in GCC. They are using our payroll module.
It's an add-on feature with the current Dynamics?
Yeah, it's an add-on.
Okay, and would like to have a discussion for that as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. I think Nitish almost covered a couple of questions which was in my mind. Uh, in fact, I just want to ask in terms of tendering and probably the estimation level. Now, for that particular area, I would like to understand, is the system will ask to select a predefined finished goods item, or it can be flexible to shape up the bill of material? Because our type of business, it's a purely bespoke a project, so we don't have basically any finished goods can be defined on the system. So I would like to know more about the estimation level on how to build the BOQ, and is it really simple? Because you mentioned costing templates. Is there any templates for, let's say, the joinery and metal plants?
Yeah. See, we done it for an engineering, electrical engineering company as well. They do the electrical engineering. They manufacture different equipments. Every day they create different products. It's nothing like that. One customer require one set of product. They should be able to replicate that one. But obviously, you should be able to come up with a base model that you should be able to do your costing templates as an estimation process. The BOQ can have multiple versions. I should be able to keep on copying it. I should be able to modify it as well. There is no limitation out of it. Once I create a BOQ, then my costing template, I can call it as a costing template. Then I can use it for my engineering based manufacturing. Let us say in D365, there is a function called engineering change management. It's one module itself. There itself, I should be able to keep all my engineering templates. There I can keep on adding, revising it. I should be able to keep releasing it for production as well. Then the entire process, because my estimation side, I don't want to 100% derive my BOQ because I may win this particular contract or not. So I doesn't know, but I want to do it at a level of accuracy up to 95 to 98%. Then I'll add up my markup percentage, whatever it is required as part of that as well. Then once I do that one, then I can consider that as my costing template. Then my costing template, I can attach it with my negotiation, my proposal stage and everything. Once I win this particular contract, then I'll ask my engineering team to come and shape up it into the accurate level. Once they shape up it to the accurate level, then only I will release it in a production order for my production floor. So you can do the entire process controlled manner through the system.
Yeah. Is there any integration between Dynamics and AutoCAD out of the box?
See, out of the box, there are no integration from Microsoft, but Microsoft is a pretty large ecosystem called AppSource. In AppSource, there are plugins available, which as we are building our our App Store from Android, iOS, or anywhere you are buying application. I can go to Microsoft Dynamics AppSource. There are plugin available for AutoCode. We already made an integration between Inventor. Inventor is probably not
Yes,
used, but
yes,
yeah.
the 3D, the 3D.
Yeah, the 3D
format.
Inventor, which you already made an integration, in the same way, we will be able to build an integration with AutoCAD as well.
I'm assuming when you say integration with Inventor means that it's syncing the bill of material while you are drawing, isn't it?
Correct. It's only bill of material in Inventor.
Okay, understood.
Yeah,
Now
but in
regarding
terms,
yeah,
yeah,
please.
then we are even creating the links back to the Inventor in terms of the 3D view and related things.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
do the same thing with AutoCAD as well. There is no limitation. There should not be any
Yeah,
problem.
AutoCAD still probably easier than 3D because it's
Yeah,
2D. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Regarding the WIB, now our project, it's related to different divisions in our company. So we have, let's say, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. So each project has its own division. Is it possible while posting the WIB material, labor, others, and subcontractor to make a division as a code center? So while we are posting to the GL, it will go along with the division for that project?
Yeah. D365 is having a functionality called a financial dimension. Financial dimension is considered your division is a financial dimension. So one project even can have sub projects if I want to keep it like that. Then as part of every resource movement or cost movement, I will be able to attach the division code with the default resource used as part of that one. I can change it, then I'll be able to post it as well. Then when it comes to a financial, you will be able to keep track of the entire financials as part of the project based on your divisions. Let us say your engineering manager will be coming from design department. but the labor force will be coming from the production floor. This is a division which you're talking about, right? Then you should be able to keep track of that as part of the resource costing booking is done. Then you should be able to get the reports, whatever you are looking.
Yeah, so assume we have, let's say, 7 branches. So it is recommended to create 7 companies on Dynamics because we have projects probably related to UAE, and we are having certain of engineers from Bahrain collaborating with them. So their cost needs to be booked to the job or to the project created in UAE. So we do currently a practice of shadow projects. So is that shadow project concept available?
Yeah, consider your resource can be coming from a pool. Let us say my resource cost center can be in different place. But in terms of the salaries I pay from Behran for Behran resources, right? So you should
Right.
have an intercompany billing to be created as part of the resource utilization. Let us say a UAE company using a resource of Behran, then there should be an agreement between Behran and UAE by saying this resource, when you are consuming it, you have to pay me this much money as part of that one. Then all these rules you should be able to put it, or you can say my resources are from a central pool. My salary is paid, doesn't need to be worried as part of that one. Only the cost of the resource, the base cost, whatever it is incurred for that particular business unit, only I have to book it. This we have to understand what is your reporting structure, what is your taxation structure. Then accordingly we have to take a decision out of how you have to do the cost allocation and everything required for this.
Right. In terms of taxation, because
It's out of the
tax
box. It's out of the
out
box.
of the
It doesn't
box,
need to
like
worry. Yeah.
because there are different rates in different regions. So
Yeah.
in case of I want to do customization on certain screens just to make it simpler for end user, and this is that something doable?
It's a user level. User should be able to do that one. Customizing his own screens. Or if it's a complex process related stuff, only you need to do the development. It's 100% customizing.
So that would be part of the license if I have internal team, so I can use
We
them.
do not recommend as much as to do any customization inside the system. We should recommend always using the standard features. Unless there is some major process which is not available inside my system only, we should do the customization. Any Microsoft Dynamics certified consultant will be able to do the customization. There is no limitation for that one.
Right. Now, in case of I will go with the cloud, setup, I will be able to access my database not through web services or APIs to the SQL server and fetch data the way that I want.
See, there is a concept available in Microsoft Dynamics called dual write. Once you enable the dual write, then you can get the data available inside F&O back into Microsoft Data Lake. From there, you should be able to extract your data in real time to any database or any systems or anything. Directly, you will not get access to the SQL DB, but obviously you have the entire authority for your data.
And on-prem option is still valid or not anymore?
It's available, but it's pretty complex to manage. We will not recommend.
Okay. Last, if anyone can submit this PPT, if you don't mind, on the chat for the whole group to keep it as a reference, that would be great.
Yeah, that we will share the details. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Manoj, would you like to ask your question? I have enabled your mic.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. So I had only a couple of questions. First question is, if we want to migrate from AX Dynamics to Dynamics 365,
Yeah.
is the process going to be easy, let's say, or is the migration will be facilitated with the data and everything?
It depends on how much of customization which you have done. If you didn't have major customization, we can directly upgrade from your AX to D365 direct.
So depending on the amount of customization.
Yeah.
Okay.
If a lot of customizations are there, then we have to evaluate the amount of customization, what is the impact of this customization when we do a migrate. There is a possibility, but the effort will be little more in terms of getting it done. Technically, it's possible.
Okay, sure. And the other question is, if we want to integrate other programs from Microsoft also, let's say Office, for example, from Excel and from Microsoft projects, we want to integrate the functions of Excel, for example, to facilitate work breakdown structure making and want to use Microsoft projects for the project cost recording and execution process recording all of the progress and everything. Is it possible to integrate with
it's generally
Dynamics?
generally the Office and Excel are straightforward integrated with Dynamics. Then we have to see the kind of data. There is a simple functionality available in called the data integration management framework. We will call it as DMF.
Okay.
Using that, any user should be able to do a data integration with the system. You can import the data, export the data very easily.
So we can kind of prepare all what we need for the work breakdown structure in Excel sheets, and it will be automatically entered in Dynamics.
You can.
Similarly for Microsoft projects for the execution.
You can do that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. This was my question. Thank you.
Anybody else having their question? They can just
Hi,
raise.
this is Vinod, finance controller from Al Sharq factory, where I'm located in Riyadh. We are basically steel fabricators, where we procure a material from the different region, and we're fabricating the steels based on the customer requirement. We were supplying for high-rise buildings. Currently, I'm using Dynamics, where I have major place disconnects, like my estimation team were preparing RFQ and BOQ manually, were submitted to customer for order winning. Once order winning done, once order winning done, we were receiving the PO. PO were manually entering by the finance team and system. On top of it, especially for costing, where I have a lag. We were using AutoCAD and a Tekla module to design the structure. This Tekla were giving weight, let's say example 100 tons. On top of it, we were BOQ proves while quoting is 110 ton or 90 ton. There's a gap between BOQ and Tekla. From here, where we are procuring the material, the procuring material were different size. We were having the weight difference from Tekla, BOQ, and actual procurement were neither less or more, most probably more, due to the scrap and wastage. When I'm coming to the costing, this is completely giving a back-to-back gap, where Tekla giving a different weight and BOQ giving a different weight. Where procurement procuring the different weight. Actually, the same material based on the Tekla model we were procuring. But end of the session, I'm not able to get the accurate number, how much the thing I am delivering. The delivery material where goes cut, nest, wasted, then final material as per the design I'm supplying. So this could be designed in my system. Actually, I have Dynamics, but I'm not able to get this perfect information in my system. And over and above, where the labor cost, which I'm maintaining manually, where we have around 500 employees, including manpower company, where we are hiring locally. 350, 370, around 370 employees we own, plus 100 plus employees we are hiring from manpower companies. We are not able to maintain a system report per manner, how much production you can give, like machining area, welding area, fitting area, painting area. I wanted to identify exactly the location wise per manner, per day, per hour production to be identified. So this all the information I wanted to insert in my system to bring cost down. Really, I know that manually I'm calculating the cost. Badly, I'm spending ransom. What exactly I'm planning, what I'm spending there's a big gap. I would like to control this. I need really a suggestion, advice for this. On top of it, I need this presentation which I'm seeing on the screen. I would like to show to my management to get approval for face-to-face meeting or online meeting to implement exactly what I'm looking on the screen, which really I'm looking this will help for my business.
Got it. Yeah, that's where there is a major gap in terms of people to configure the understanding the engineering change management, engineering projects, how to map it into D365 and fully utilize the functionality of the system. The system is capable, and how we will weave this particular process, how we will streamline this one. This is pretty easily achievable using D365. So in terms of a project, when you create a project, yes, a project is there. You doesn't know what will be the BOQ. Then you already using your own software. You already told like that, okay, there is a difference between Tekla, that's a software which I have heard, probably if I'm wrong as well, just
You're correct, correct. You're
yeah,
correct.
yeah. Then Tekla, there you will do an estimation. Then you say like that, what is the estimation coming from my Tekla is right. And the problem with the people is they doesn't want to go and modify into the BOQ with accurately based on the estimation what is coming from Tekla. Then only I should be able to monitor in such a way like that whether my actual production or the period, whether my estimation happening from Tekla is accurate when my entire project is getting completed. So once you assume the material, whatever it is required, Tekla says like that, okay, Tekla says there is 100 tons of material for getting this completion done. Then you have to create that as a new WBS project, one more production version product with a WBS 1. There you will start creating this requisition, then material consumption and everything as part of that one, because already the route related with that one, machining, welding, fitting, everything is already there in the project. Once that particular thing's done, you will be starting the procurement process, either the procurement or you will consume it from your internal warehouse. Then you can ask
Both
the
the way
people
we
to
are using. Both the way we are using scrap, we are using from current stock we are using, plus we are procuring. All together we are using. I'm not
all
able
together.
to combine all three. Here is the big gap I have. Sometimes some projects I'm procuring, I can identify exactly where I am. But when using from stock or scrap plus procurement, then it is challenging me to identify exact cost of the particular project.
Yeah, you can do that. Only the thing you have to record all these points like that, how much scrap got created and the where scrap which I'm keeping as part of that one. Then inside your bill of material, the scrap as well should be consumed as part of the bill of material. You say like that, I'll use half a ton of scrap as part of one particular project, which is already available in my stock inventory. Then that level of accuracy you should be able to bring inside system. Your material doesn't require to be come from a procurement process always. I will only procure the material extra which is not available inside my inventory. It can be sitting in anywhere in my system. Then automatically system will suggest you how much quantity is required. Are you using the master planning?
Yes, but manually, it's not in system, it's manual.
That means in system, it's having 100% capable to do that one. Then system, it will do the entire master planning. It will provide you the entire material requirement because system knows where the stock lies, what is availability, how much stock quantity is there, what is my bill of material required quantity as well. Once I do my updation and integration between my Tekla system to my bill of material for my project versions, then as part of that one, I'll be able to combine the process. I can start estimating for that one. Then according to the material will be issued up for that one. Then the production floor has to say like that, okay, as part of my WBS, my project, my WBS 1 got completed. The resource worked on this is a particular person who is hired or subcontracted, who is there. What is the cost of him? Then how much material consumed as part of will be coming from WBS. Then the WBS completed. If it's a scrap is estimated, then you can say like that, there is a scrap estimated. Then they should be able to say like that, okay, 300 30 kilograms of scrap got produced as part of this particular job card. Then you ended the scrap there. Then the scrap required to be moved from the scrap production for location into my storage location. So it should be able to consume for other projects or related stuffs or anything. Then during my entire process cycle, you know, like that it progress, I complete my entire cycle available inside my production. Then the production floor will be able to say the project got delivered as well completely. There you should be able to complete the delivery process, my production order getting completed, my delivery process getting completed, then I can close the project. Now you can analyze from starting to end how much of scrap got produced, what is the whether my estimation was right, whether additional material was consumed by this particular production of floor, particular project, even not on a production floor, particular project, how much extra came, what is estimated cost, what is the landed cost as well for this particular project.
Okay, understood that. Please do share this template. So I'll project to my management, I'll get approval so that further we can start communicating one-to-one to go next level.
Sure, no worries. Yeah. So the scenario for an engineering projects related with the previous one, I am showing here as a resource-based project. Both are different. So you should be
Okay.
able to handle it different in terms of your usage, but the same can be configured in the system easily.
Okay, understand.
Yeah.
I think if there are no further questions, we can close the session. Yeah, I think thank you everyone for joining in. I hope the session was useful for you. As we mentioned earlier, we will do this as a series of 3 sessions. We are going to cover different industries and requirements across different organizations in our further sessions. So look forward to an email invite for further sessions. Thank you again, and have a great day.